How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. We also got to put in the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor and this isn't financial advice. So just know when you do invest, you're doing it at your own risk. So today we're going to be talking about SOS and EBON. Like I do in all my videos, we're going to be going over agenda, and we also keep timestamps down below in the description as well. So the first thing that we're going to be going over is doing a technical analysis for both of these stocks. We're seeing, hey, has EBON actually shown us that they've established a floor on that 52-week low? And what could potentially happen if we continue to see some more selling off? The next thing we're going to be looking at with SOS as far as the technicals, we want to see, hey, how much further can it actually pull back to if we continue to have red days and more selling? And then after that, we're going to be taking a look at the institutional ownership. Has there been any recent institutional activity for both of these stocks? And then we're going to be taking a look at the short interest information as well. What is the overall market sentiment? Are they bullish or are they bearish about both of these stocks? And also, is there any short squeeze potential whatsoever? Why is this important? Just in case we got a big time news catalyst, which we've been seeing a lot from SOS, this will tell us, hey, the type of price action we could potentially see. And then after, when all of that is done, I'll be giving you guys my final thoughts afterwards. So let's get into it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for SOS. So let's take a look at how it performed today. So it closed the day at $3.28, being down 9.39% on the day. On the low, it tested $3.25 and then also testing $3.56 on the high. So what we could see and what we talked about yesterday as well, we were going to be looking forward to seeing if it does pull back to it being in that 320 area, and that's exactly what we saw. So if it decides to pull back further as this week progresses, then definitely look out for a test of this $3 level. It'll be very curious to see how well it holds up. If this area does ever end up breaking, then we could definitely look forward to seeing it get down to around this 275 level, which was an area that we covered in the past. If we take a look at the RSI down below, it's definitely way in that oversold category. It's around 24. So that means if you want to get a position into SOS, you're getting a hell of a deal on this stock. Another thing we need to take notice of, it is well below all of our indicators here at the 200-day, the 100-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. For it to begin to start looking bullish again, it'd have to reclaim at least around $3.68 and then see a move to the upside. So that's part of the reasons why I was showing you guys, since it's looking bearish, some possible areas of support if it does decide to pull back. Because if you believe in the long-term prospects, I do see some upside for SOS, and I want to be able to let you guys notice and be aware. And since there's an opportunity here in regards to the price, then hey, it's definitely a way that you could actually benefit off what we're getting in regards to the market conditions. So we're now on fintel.io, and we're going to take a look at the institutional ownership for SOS. So as we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. And as you can see, the latest update we have is from May the 10th, and this is from Blackstone Alternative Investments, selling about 37,600 shares. Aside from that, we had Kestra Advisory Services going in with 43,850 shares. But as you can see, from May 10th and right now it is May the 12th, there hasn't been any recent institutional activity. So if we take a look at the short interest information, it is sitting at a short volume ratio of 13% as of May the 11th. As we scroll down on the page, short shares availability stands at 200,000. And as we scroll down on the page and take a look at the short borrow free rate, it is at 12.51%. So that's still quite up there. So that's something to take into consideration. The short volume ratio, and taking a look at the history, as you can see, aside from May the 5th, it has been below 21%, which gives us that short squeeze potential here. So what's happening? Hey, there's not many institutions or many who are actually shorting the stock. The stock is pretty much being driven down due to market conditions and also people selling out of their positions. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for EBON, which ended up closing the day at $2.89, being down 3.99% on the day. On the low, it tested $2.87, and then on the high, testing $3.06. So right away, when we take a look at the chart, it is definitely looking bearish. We can see it's below all of our indicators here at the 200-day, the 100-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. And for order for it to start looking bullish again, it's going to have to reclaim at least a 320 and seeing a move to the upside. If we take a look at the RSI down below, definitely in that oversold category right around that 24-25 level. So what does this mean? It is an opportunity for anyone who believes in the long-term prospects of EBON, because I do believe, just like SOS, there will be a recovery and there's definitely some upside here. One thing to also take into consideration, we see with EBON's chart, it tends to have these spikes and then comes back down, has another spike and then comes back up. So what we want to see is actually a repeat of this, and I can see this happening. Another thing to also take into consideration, since we are going down to these areas of support, do keep in mind the floor has been established here at 260. So we want to see that 260 continuously hold, and this is great for anyone who's thinking about doing a swing trade. If it did break 260, then I'd make sure to even have a stop loss here at least around 255. But for the most part, this seems to be holding up as far as a low for EBON, and this is great to see. So we saw that it actually tested at $3.66 level. So taking that into consideration, this is definitely an area of resistance for now. So we want to see some bullish moves coming from EBON. Like I said, once it can get above the 320 and start showing some signs of reaching the 100-day, things will begin to look bullish again. So we're on fintel.io, and we're going to take a look at the institutional ownership for EBON. So as we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So as you can see here, no institutional activity either. Last was on May the 10th, which there was a sell of 38,800 shares of EBON by Blackstone Alternative Investment Funds. Before that, we had Camden Capital, who came in and bought 36,000 shares on May the 10th. Aside from that, not much institutional activity. As we take a look at the short interest information for EBON, the short volume ratio is at 15%, which is quite a difference from what we've been seeing in the past, but we're going to get into that just now. So this is as of May the 11th. As we scroll down on the page, short shares availability updated 8 minutes ago, it was around 1.1 million. And if we take a look at the short borrow free rate as of 8 minutes ago, it is at 1.89%. We take a look at the short volume ratio, and it is at 1540, which we've already confirmed. But if you see in the past, it's been well above 21%, aside from what we saw on May the 5th and as well as May the 4th. So just seeing that in general kind of tells us and solidifies the fact when we talked about in the technical analysis, EBON has already established a bottom for itself, and it hasn't really broken that particular area of support on its 52-week low. So I feel this is part of the reasons why we haven't seen as much shorting as we were seeing in the past for EBON. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on, and yeah, that's what I wanted to kind of update you guys on for today. So for my final thoughts for SOS and EBON, like I said, the current conditions we have in the market, we're seeing a lot of selling off, especially inside the tech sector. So one thing I want you guys to remember, you got to make sure if you're invested in both or one of these stocks that you believe in the long-term potential, because like I said, there could be more room for these stocks to actually go down. But part of the reasons why that presents a great opportunity, when they run back up, you'll be able to make some really good profits. Maybe you might have a high cost average, and if you believe in the company, of course, hey, here's a way to actually bring that average down overall in general. I'm going to be shooting up the order flow distribution really quickly for you guys. We've talked about it so you guys can look at it, understand it. But what I've noticed for SOS, we see a lot more inflow in regards to outflow. But for EBON, we got more outflow than we have actual inflow. So what does this mean? Hey, as far as for SOS, people are loading up on the dip more than they are on EBON. So that's just what I want to you guys to remember and bring to your attention. Does that mean that EBON has no potential? Of course not. And that's part of the reasons why I'm not selling my position whatsoever. I know it's going to be very shaky in the market. Like I said, a lot of stocks are going down. So I'm just going to keep my plays where they're at. And if they do decide to go back even lower, then I'll be adding on those dips, especially for SOS. And that's one of the strategies that I'm going to be doing. Of course, I am not recommending that to you. You guys got to make sure you invest at your own risk and make sure you're investing with money that you're not afraid to lose. And also, I want to emphasize the fact, and and I'm going to do this over and over again. When it comes to penny stocks like these, they should not be taking up no more than 5 to 10% of your overall portfolio. This is the best way to minimize risk and also make sure that, you know what, you're in the right mental space. When you have a lot of stocks and they're always volatile, always going up and down, they're being experienced by the sell-off that we're seeing, it's going to put you not in a not so great mood. A lot of you are telling me, man, what's going on right now has been frustrating. It's been going on for months. It's been so extended. I understand that. I feel that. That's part of the reasons why you want to make sure you have diversity in your overall portfolio. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.